Hello everyone and good evening. Today I have something special for you, which is going back to past recording in my game against aerolb. Commenting on Wyrmtalon game, League Wyrmtalon game, actually inspired me to, you know what? Let's go back to Ireland. I really don't like Ireland that much, but watching Wyrmtalon game gave me an idea of something I want to try. Namely, I want to try to mature vampire at 18 by protecting it with hide, also doing Darkle and feed, and then going to 23, so that when vampire matures, it clears the big part of the trail, but 23 is left. So still some hunter needs to go there. I don't really like Ireland start because it limits Dracula in a major way. It limits movement, direction of movement, damages Dracula, doesn't allow to build layers, and all of that. And also it's very risky if I have no interesting maturing effect in my hand. Starting in Ireland is basically detrimental. But I wanted to try it. I wanted to test how it feels. So I'm playing against a spread setup. Mina is in 10, which is interesting. I don't think this is the usual aerolb play. I think it may be. Did he do this specifically against me? Is he trying stuff? I'm not sure. I think I played against aerolb plenty of times, and I don't think this is what he normally does. But it makes my Ireland start even stronger. Just because Mina is further away from Ireland, and also Godalming is that bit weaker because they cannot adjust their items. So perfect opportunity to try for Ireland. Uh, yeah, and so the question is in Ireland also, if you start in Ireland, do you want to go from 18 to 23 or from 23 to 18? Because it okay. Also, this game I was quite lucky. I had aristocratic and I had bats, so I had if I want a safe mature, and I forgot to put a rumor there. Yeah, if you want if you like bank on safe mature, you don't want a fighter vampire. You don't need that, right? You aristocratic is enough, and bat is one of the best protections you can get. Depends on the situation, but especially against one hunter. Yeah, I forgot to put on the rumor. So this is in a sense dream start for what I wanted to try. So the direction. Do you want to put first encounter in 18 or 24? It is big decision because it directs you for the future. You either go from 18 to 23 and North Atlantic, or you go from 23 to 18 and Irish Sea. Going through Irish Sea makes sense only if you want to land in England. So if you want to land in England, this is the obvious choice, but if you don't want to land in England, then 20 like exiting through 23 to North Atlantic is strictly better, just because from North Atlantic you can either immediately land on continent or try to obfuscate a little bit and move one more sea, and maybe then land in England. Who knows? I don't like the idea of landing in England after Ireland, just because it is later than it seems for Dracula. Hunters have more tools then, so consecrated ground, even not on full power, can really mess you up. Obviously, consecrated ground on full power can kill you and immediately lose you the game at 35. But consecrated ground, even not on full power, can catch you after landing or like one or few days and really narrow your locations. And even if not, uh, hunters can really prepare for you because your movement, if you land in England, your movement for next 3-4 days is really telegraphed. So, like for example, Godalming can charted courage to 27, excellent weather to 19, and both your exits are covered by both Helsing and Godalming, for example. They want to fight through, what they want to do. One of the sea locations is on the trail, so it is not that easy to move. You will need to exit through sea at some point, so battling through can be risky, and it just piles on and on. On the other hand, exiting through 23, immediately landing from North Atlantic and taking, for example, 1v1 in Seward can be risky, can be dangerous, but also can be good for you. So uh, that's in general. I think exiting Ireland through 18 is too risky and doesn't give too much, but exiting through 23 is much better overall, especially that you can start building trail faster. Uh, in a sense that you can, for example, land in the continent and just move through continent, even if you will get cut somewhere, escape as bats can save you and all of that. And you land in France, which is a lot of connections, so there is possibility to be uh, lost fairly, or like to sneak around or build distance fairly easy. It is overall true when you do the usual move, misdirect, move and hide, and then go to sea. But with this strategy, you spend a lot of time in Ireland. So your gambit is that, okay, I spend a lot of time in Ireland, but hunters will need to spend their time there too. And it is a big trade-off because hunters will need to spend one hunter when you spend your entire Dracula in a sense. But if it's, for example, Helsing, maybe he will not get proper items to deal with your trail, what will leave in 23. Maybe because of what he needs to do, he will not have time, for example, to trade, or maybe he will have a horse and it will be very late horse for other hunters. So there are random, let's say, random occurrences that can benefit you or be detrimental, but that's always the game. So what I'm doing here, hunters are supplying, nothing really that much happening. I will be entering 23 soon and see, how it plays out. Oh, this is funny. Wax cylinder, which is good for him because he basically now he knows my entire trail, which is quite funny when you think about this. So yeah, this is the time when hunters know what's up. And for example, Helsing can prepare for that. He can trade few events for himself, maybe for Seward, to be ready for what will Dracula do next. There is some thinking involved, so and trade with Van with Godalming. Yeah. Yeah, and Mina is preparing tickets to be riding toward me. So yeah, there, I have 10 encounter cards. I can pick whatever I want, basically. And I decided, you know what? I will put down new vampire. If Van Helsing did not lack, did not find stake on these few days of supplies, several days maybe, uh, then it will be next to impossible for him to kill this new vampire. If it will appear that Hansik doesn't have a stake and hunters will, for example, call out Seward for help, this is a big win for me because I plan on landing in the continent. So if Seward will leave the continent, he'll be moving directly away from me. This is just the new vampire, so 3 points, which isn't much, but also I don't. For me, if he matures, it will be value anyway because he will clear sea spaces and maybe some low value encounters I will put down when landing, preparing to fight. And also, I don't really give much hope for him to mature because basically now hunters have entire week to deal with that one encounter. Uh, the most scary part is obviously that Seward is supplying, and Seward is really tough. He can heal fast and has 4 items, which is quite scary. And also, Godalming is moving toward me. So landing, and I will land damaged, right? So landing can be dangerous, and I will land quite late. We will not be fighting in the first week, so escape as bats is not as easy to do. So this way I make Ireland. So this start, let's say, Wyrmtalon inspired start, is very inconvenient for hunters, but also quite costly to Dracula. If I just, put a vampire with hide and then went to sea, I would be building my trail on the continent long time ago. And be much safer. My position would be much more obscured. But still interesting to try. Mm. Also, Mina bought a ticket but didn't ride anywhere. Yeah, so Mina has a stake. One stake is in a discard, I think. So there are only 2 stakes left in total. Pretty decent odds that Van Helsing doesn't have a stake, right? And now basically Dublin is maturing guaranteed. Which is cool. It is sad that it is not 7 points but only 4, but you know, I do this to, let's say, test the start and not necessarily to try hard to win the game. Hunters are overall supplying, which is definitely a good decision because he doesn't know if I'll move further by sea or not. So, and Munich is really good position. Oh yeah, now one stake is in the discard. Probably Mina should be moving closer because especially with Rufus Smith. It's not like I will be sailing straight to east. But also I don't know his position. Maybe he didn't get any good tickets to move. Maybe he doesn't feel need to move because he doesn't have any useful items anyway, so that he's digging for events. I don't know. And Stuart moves to the 8. So many hunters would tell you, many hunters would have approach. Dracula is in the sea, you only supply, don't move, there's no need. But landing in 8, I think maybe going to 8, railing to 8 may be decent, because if I land now, he will know 100% where I am. So, yeah, I don't think it is necessarily bad. It might be a wasted move if I just move now to South Atlantic, but if I move to South Atlantic, it is still beneficial for hunters because I just take 2 damage and do nothing. So, basically, hunters are preparing for quote-unquote worst situation, which is me landing right now. Worst like worst, it is still dangerous for me because if they have renewed vigor or if they have sense of emergency, I can be jumped to V1, but it will be weak too, so I guess I kinda have to take that. Helsinki is moving toward Ireland, which I guess is a proper response. It will cost him a lot of actions to go there, clear the trail, and then go back and be useful. But is it worth risking another vampire maturing or hoax maturing? I don't know. Especially if Dublin would be rumored, then probably you don't want to leave that. You don't want to give like 11 early points for Dracula. So I land because this is my philosophy that I shouldn't be scared of, especially single hunter. I wonder what should I put down. Wolves are better in multiple versus one. So if from bodyguard, for example, so if Godalming just jumps me with sense of emergency, of if renewed vigor will appear, it will be better. It is a little bit scary. And also, Stuart may have dogs, so Wolf may do not that much. But on the other hand, if Stuart has dogs, 1 less items. So, yeah, fine by me. I took the Wolves to at least know what I'll be fighting against, because I do expect to fight. Many hunters would ignore me there and just try to like narrow my movement and prepare for future. But I expect aerolb to move straight onto me because he is quite aggressive player. Maybe not quite, he is very aggressive player, I think. Okay, now Van Helsing, he knows that I landed, so Van Helsing is trading with Stuart. Probably forewarned, I think, if this is straight before entering, maybe Covenant event, so something is happening in there, and at least Helsinki is staying in place. Okay, so obviously wolves to protect myself will be double prompt or single prompt. He's thinking a lot. Okay, double prompt. So he has forewarned. He was thinking to forewarning that, which may be a good call sometimes, and shows rifle. Does it mean that he doesn't have any other weapon? No. But so it is a little bit tricky, obviously. 7 damage is risky against Dracula, but it is sure that he heals fast, so if he survives 1 combat, he should be reasonably fine, probably. And, well, he has the rifle that protects from claws, so, yeah. Night prompt. And plant ambush. Okay, Stewart came in prepared. Let's see what he has. Full combat hand. Very scary. Uh, plant ambush, full combat hand. 7 health with anti-claw weapon. I can lose a lot of health here, but I can also force hunters to expend a lot of resources. So yeah, I quite often use plotting in these scenarios, because if I force him to use plant ambush on to just punch, great result for me. If he will show pistol, it is not a good result for me, but I will know his second item, and 2 damage loss is not like the worst situation, so fine. If he escapes, if he would escape, I would count it as a win. He would have used, hunter move, trade, plant ambush just on it to escape round 1. So that would be good. And if he uses like Heavenly Host or a knife, at least I will be stronger for the rest of the fight. I will get something to my hand and I'll be able to do something. And yeah, Heavenly Host. 4 damage, which with my C damage stacks up to 6 damage. I'm below 10 health, so not a very convenient situation. Quite unpleasant. And if this was any other hunter, they would have top 2 combat items, but it is Stewart, so he still keeps his 3 items. Now I'm thinking, what should they do? I'm scared to Fangs because I saw only 1 garlic discarded, so there may be garlic in there, which is a bit scary to Fang. But also there may be like second Heavenly Host, not that big of an odds. On the other hand, also he may escape right now, so fanging to heal could be good. But if I should probably like mesmerize here or claw, and I really don't want to fang. I was really hesitating here, but I realized, you know what? Maybe I'll fang the second Heavenly Host. That would be glorious, and I fang into garlic. Nasty stuff. Like if I were able to claw, if I were able to mesmerize, that would be much better spot for me. And yeah, I was following items discard pile, and I noticed 2 crucifixes discarded, but only 1 garlic. So, and also no knives. So there is actually still quite a lot of anti-fangs like items. I don't know. Now, what will happen here? Yeah, I'm using Mesmerize because I don't want him to escape. Also, turn 3 is usually the good turn for hunters to use anti-bat weapon, because I can escape as bats, but quite wisely he simply dodged. So my ass is getting wrecked this combat. I mean, mesmerizing is still decent. I realized I will try plotting. In most cases to be okay, but I got knifed, which hurts. If it would be anything else, even punch would be good, because I can cancel punch with plotting and trigger second plotting. Rifle would be 1 damage, which wouldn't be, that extreme. And I would know that I can claw him for damage, which could be cool. So yeah, I lost a lot of health. from this combat, and I quite often say that hunters should be afraid of 1v1 combats. I'm getting wrecked. I still think hunters should be afraid in 1v1 combat, because if I played it a little bit differently, it could cost hunters more. But yeah, but that's the risk. It is not risk-free game. You have to risk to win. Sometimes risk doesn't pay off. So I still think landing here was proper decision. The biggest punish would be renewed vigor or sense of emergency and 2v1 fight. And this can be manageable. Okay, I was able to break the rifle. I play strength because okay, and a knife. I am able to break knife. So this fight costed me 8 health, which is a lot of health, especially that I still have a lot of time to survive for, and like no healing inbound, no desecrated soil, no closed castle. But at least I broke 2 important weapons. I know about forewarned, which matters. Speedy telegraph, trade. It was quite costly for hunters too. So it is not like a clear win for hunters. Mina is far away. Godalming is scary. So yeah, another trade with Seward. What that could have been. I hope not great strength, but I'm going to feed anyway. If he is great, because he has basically only garlic, right? So maybe I can navigate around that and maybe fang him during the day fight to get a little bit of that health back. He would be back to 10 health. That would be good. No trail, which is sad. In my mind, I keep in mind that I forgot about the rumor. I should have 7 points, so if I treat it as a test run for the start, this is what I have in mind. But I treat this game that I have 7 influence points. No trail, but 7 influence points, and still vampire on the trail. Not the worst. So that was escape route, which is a little bit sad. But what can you do? And now, yeah, this is very, very proper and adequate response. Godalming moves to Big C, joined by Seward, so they can combine strength. Godalming can resupply Seward and himself, while Seward heals at 9, and also he protects Seward, so it's not like I can move on to Seward to try to finish him off or like chase him around. Yeah. And this is scary position for me. 8 health with 2 hunters next to me, and one of them is, that's the worst part about fighting with Seward. He can really get back on his feet really fast. So a few days, like a few days. One more day and he's back at full health, which is nasty. There's Godalming next to him, so they both will be fully equipped anyway. Maybe not on top-notch items, but in dangerous items anyway. I decided to be a little bit tricky and to move to the Harv. I hoped that maybe our aerolb will try to like run around and search for me, because he's a very aggressive hunter. If that would happen, probably Le Havre would be the last place for him to check. And even if I have a spy, so that would be difficult for him anyway. And also, I think like the most obvious direction here is Spain. So I wanted to be, Spain because it is the biggest distance, or 15 because it has the most connections. So I tried like the sneaky option. And yeah, and Mina needs a lot of days to come back to me, come back to the action. So sadly for me, hunters were not searching for me immediately, and they just properly gather strength before they will come back to fighting me. Helsing is also exactly in time to search 23. You will see if he has a stake. It would be cool if he didn't, but since it is only 3-point new vampire, it is not the end of the world. I don't plan on ambushing him either way, just because right now the damage to him is probably not that important, and I just want to hope that maybe he doesn't have a stake and will search it. But I think checking discard pile minimalizes the chance of him having no stake, because there are only one stake in discard and one stake on Mina. So yeah, there are two stakes somewhere, so there is reasonably high odds. And Sewer didn't have a stake, so there's reasonable high odds that Helsing has stake. More trades for events. Yeah, okay, so I'm in La Havre, which is very dangerous. What do I do next? I didn't consider it back in that time. Hiding would be very funny and very tricky, but hiding on a spy, I don't know. I just decided, you know what? I don't know when they will be moving out. Maybe they'll need to, supply a little bit more, since they're, just supplying. So I will try to use this opportunity. Maybe I will slip by one day more, and I will try to go to the open world somewhere. Here's a speedy telegraph, which is a bit scary. I totally don't know what's the meaning of this. Why does he use speedy telegraph? To move Helsing first. That was weird. I know, maybe he, yeah. If I'm in Marsilis, he checks now with Mina. Okay, that makes sense. I don't know why Helsing moved first, but then, if I was in Marsilis with Fog and he doesn't have forewarned, that could have been cool. I didn't consider that path. But basically now, okay. Does he plan to move out? So this, and he just walks straight onto me, which is devastating. I thought I'm being sneaky, and this is the direction he chose to check, which is actually like proper. I wasn't thinking straight, I think, in that moment, just because, if he checks 9 and I'm not there, it is not that big of a deal for him, because he can rail back quite fast toward Spain. But if he goes blindly towards Spain, and I exactly went through this direction, it could be quite devastating for him. So this is really good play by him, really proper order of checking. Even with that speedy telegraph checking Marcellus, this was really well thought. And so I am in a really bad spot. I have still only 8 health because of my previous endeavors. Seward is back at full strength, because thanks to Godalming, and then thanks to his own healing. So it is nasty. I'm not sure what I should do. I kinda expect Godalming to have probably Heavenly Host, I think, or one of them to have Heavenly Host. But but usually in that spot it is pretty decent for both hunters to use weapon turn 1 and then use Heavenly Host, but he just said, you know what, screw all of that, I just throw Heavenly Host on you. If I was able to flank him there, that would be decent spot for me. I would be on 7 health in 1v1. But now it is desperation time. It is not good. So what do I have? At least I mesmerized John Stewart, and I know he doesn't have a knife. So I decided, you know what? I will try to flank him. Maybe he'll be punching, but maybe he'll be dodging. I mean, someone has garlic, and it was a bad decision. Yeah, I don't. I don't. To be honest, I don't know why I did it. I mean, I know Godalming doesn't have garlic, right? Because I know Godalming has knife and just use Heavenly Host. So I know Stewart has 2 items, and I didn't see garlic discarded. So I know Stewart has garlic. Why did they do this? That if I again, if I flanked Godalming here, I would be back at 5 health, which wouldn't be good, but wouldn't be so bad. So there's only one card that matters here, which is Escape as Mist, because he can just double knife me and kill me in any other situation. So yeah, that's life. If you play your combat poorly, then you suffer as Dracula. I mean, obviously this is not all. I mean, there are guesses, right? He didn't need to play Heavenly Host. He was able to play Knife. So blind guessing would just get me killed, basically, if I was wrong. So I went with the more, let's say, safe approach. Still, yeah, I shouldn't have fanged the garlic. You can argue uh, in previous combat fanging garlic, yeah, not uh, not that unexpected. I mean, justified in a sense, but this combat, no. So yeah, I'm in 1 health. I can't even wolf form. So this is devastating. This is most probably game over. I didn't know what I need to pull off for it to not be a loss. Especially that feed is on trail, so it's not like I can hide somewhere in the fog and hope, to hide in fog, feed, and then run away. So basically, I'm out of any resources. I cannot even go to Amsterdam because if I go to Amsterdam, I can just hide and die basically if he, yeah. If like the best option for me to go is obviously further to the east, sorry. So I kinda expected him to, he has 3 locations to check, so he checks them with 3 different hunters. I hoped for Mina to rail on me and I'll get some desperate 1v1. What just happened here? Why is it? Okay, let's go further. Okay, probably something happened that I had to walk away. And yeah. So what does he do? This was interesting. Oh, I think I missed. Yes, he used here surprising return, and he checked for Amsterdam. Yeah, this is like the usual escape path for Draculas, but I don't think it was necessary here. Since, I mean, I have one health. I cannot escape to sea, I cannot wolf form, I cannot even feed in there. So if he checks 16 and 59, 51 and 42, he knows exactly what I am. Okay, so he checked 51, and uh, so part of the plan is okay. Now, does Mina want to rail that far away? Does he want to turn back with Seward? I think the best would be to go with Seward to the Brussels, but he turns back. He guessed where I am, which is bad. I mean, it's not like I was in any good position for the win, but I'm surprised here. I mean, he get a proper guess, but I think it was safe for him to just go to Brussels, and then is it Brussels? I don't know. The city under Godalming Head, and then he knows exactly where I am, and I would be between all the hunters, so it would be a matter of time before I lose. So yeah, I will form. He forewarns. It doesn't matter. I have one health. He plays basically anything, and he kills me. I mean anything but any two weapons. Let's put it that way. Uh, yes. So I know that Stuart has a knife, and if Mina has totally nothing, like surviving, would I be? She, yeah. If she had, like, no, she doesn't even. Yes, she can't have even two garlics. So, uh, or garlic and crucifix for me to ignore her. So, yeah, she has to have a weapon. So I'm dead here. Oh yeah, broken knife. It is always good to see, uh, but still sad. If I had a strength in the 2v1 versus Godalming and Stewart, I was able to break the knife when Stewart was knifing me instead of mesmerizing. That could have been decent, actually. That could have been decent because I would be able to escape as bats. That would make a difference. So, yeah, Ireland start. Uh, High risk, decent reward in the sense that stopping mature effects is very hard and very costly for hunters. My personal opinion is that there are other locations that are also very hard to stop from maturing. Let's say I would have started in Athens with aristocratic in bats. Still extremely hard for hunters to stop that. They probably wouldn't be able, but I would be next to the castle. I wouldn't be moving by sea and all of that. Uh, Combat, as usual, very risky for both sides. Uh, if I had a tad better combat against Stewart, a lot of resources would be spent, but he put me down to really low health. So these were not wasted resources, but invested, you can say. And then again, 2v1 combat, I got wrecked by Godalming with Stewart. If I was able to fang Godalming or break Steward's knife, it wouldn't be that bad for me because I would be able to, maybe escape as bats. So there were a lot of outs. It so this game isn't as devastating as it may seem. I was, yeah, like you can see different scenarios. Let's say I put the rumor token and Helsing doesn't have stake. I have 10 points, and let's say I escape in more. I don't know. Either I don't go for the hearth, or hunters supply one day longer, or something like that, or I escape as bad from the combat. There were a lot of ways for this game for me to go actually really decent, in a decent way. So it does it mean that the start is good or viable? I don't know. I won't tell that after one start. Again, I had a very lucky encounter hand that I had aristocratic, that I had bats that were able to, or anything really, to protect this aristocratic. Otherwise, it may be easier to be stopped. Might have been easier to be stopped, but hunters didn't even attempt that. Because I mean there were no rumor, so yeah, if I put down the rumor, maybe he would use, if he had excellent weather. Uh, so yeah, maybe I will try this few more times. The Ireland start. I just don't like losing the opportunity of lures, uh, some sneaky movement, taking early damage, all of that, and what you get back. Really good odds for first encounter maturing, which is valuable, but how much, right? I don't know. I don't know, but still really cool. Uh, really cool for me to test like a little bit new stuff. I never thought of spending so much time on Ireland as Dracula, so it may be something interesting. Well, I hope you liked it, and I hope you have a good night.